Winter Solstice Story. My name is Gardenia Hong, and today is December 22nd, 2011. I remember that 13 years ago, in 1996, I returned from Germany after a trip to Berlin for a media conference and translation. When I returned from Berlin, I was working, teaching and translating, interpreting for the courts in Illinois, the court system and the judicial system in Illinois. And I returned home on December 21st in the evening, 9:30, and I found my father had come home from working at Dominic's in Oakwood. He also worked at the Pamper Chef in Addison, Illinois. When I saw him, he greeted me and came to tell me that he wanted to give me a check for $100 for my brother and my mother who lived in Lombard, Illinois. So he gave me a check to tell them that he was going to give them this money for Christmas. It was December 21st, the first day of the winter solstice. Afterwards, he went upstairs and he prepared his dinner, and I stayed downstairs. I didn't see him for the rest of the evening, and I stayed downstairs with Nathan, who had been at home when I saw my father. Afterwards, it was late at night, and I woke up after going to bed, and around 2 o'clock, I found my father sitting on a chair with his face on a plate. He was eating salmon, and on a plate his face was down and he was injured. He had been injured at home after midnight, and I didn't know why he was injured with food on his mouth, and he had a severe hit to the head, and I had to call 911. I tried to help him be comfortable until the paramedics from the Lombard Fire Department came. Before he had given me $25 for the Lombard Fire Department, and he had given me money for Christmas for myself, for my brother and mother, and for the Lombard paramedics in the fire department. But that day after midnight, he was injured, and I found him. We had to call 911. A winter solstice story. My name is Gardenia Hong Whitler, and during the winter of 1996, on the 22nd of December 1996, my father, Roberto Hong, suffered a severe blow to the head, and he had a traumatic brain injury at home while he was eating his dinner in the evening after 9:30. He also had salmon in his mouth, and he had his face on a plate. He was injured while he was eating. He was injured eating food, and he suffered an aneurysm and a stroke. I had to call 911 around the following day in order for paramedics to provide first assistance and CPR, AED.
What's the catch?
Then he was taken to Good Samaritan Advocate Hospital in Downers Grove, where there was a neurosurgeon there who operated on him, and he developed a coma. He was developing a coma situation. He wasn't conscious. He became unconscious for a month and a half, almost 2 months, before he recovered consciousness. He had been overdosed, and he was not waking up, so his coma lasted for 2.5 months, almost a very long time. Then he was taken to Edwards Hospital in Naperville, where he was hospitalized for several months. Then he went to Marian Joy Rehabilitation Center and Manor Care Nursing Home in Naperville before he returned home to Lombard, where he was taken care of. I was helping him at home as a caretaker at home with Dr. Cornwell and Nancy Minch, the nurse, Jennifer, the CNA, and Carol, CNA, at home in Lombard.